So this is about the popliteal fossa. Popliteal fossa is a fossa which is present behind the knee. Similar to cubital fossa present in the upper. So what is the popliteal fossa? The first thing we need to remember about the popliteal fossa is the shape of the fossa. It is a diamond shaped fossa. Can you see this picture? You can see this diamond shaped structure. So it's a diamond shaped intermuscular space. Intermuscular, the name itself implies the space is present in between the muscles. So the muscles together forms a fossa in the back of the knee. So that is called the popliteal fossa at the back of the knee. So that is the first key point which you need to remember. The popliteal fossa is present in the back of the knee. So where the fossa is located and what are the boundaries that forms this fossa? What are the muscles which are forming these boundaries? So the boundaries you have to study about lateral boundary, medial boundary and the roof of the popliteal fossa and the base or otherwise called as floor of the popliteal fossa. So laterally, what are the muscles which are present to form this boundary? Medially, what are the muscles which are present to form this boundary? Laterally, above and below. Above the biceps femoris muscle. Below the lateral head of gastrocnemius and plantaris. You know the back of the muscles of thigh and back of the muscles of leg. So back of the muscles of thigh will be having a biceps femoris. Laterally above this muscle is called as biceps femoris. Laterally below is the lateral head of gastrocnemius and plantaris muscle. So the medial boundary is formed above by semitendinosus and semimembranosus. Medially above the boundary is formed by semitendinosus and semimembranosus. These muscles are the one of the muscles of hamstring glute. So medially above the two muscles form this boundary, semitendinosus and the popliteal fossa. If you split up the back of the thigh, you can see the popliteal fossa. But which are the things which you are going to split up? What are the things which you are going to split up? Comes under the roof. Okay. So what covers the popliteal fossa is called as roof of the popliteal fossa. The one is skin. The first layer is the skin. And the next one is superficial fascia below the skin. And the deep fascia below the superficial fascia. If you cut open the skin, then the superficial fascia, then the deep fascia of the thigh, you can see the popliteal fossa present behind the knee. So that is called the roof of the popliteal fossa. So the next is base of the popliteal fossa, otherwise called as the floor of the popliteal fossa. So what is present inside the popliteal fossa? A fossa is a hollow space. So inside that one is a floor, a base of it. So which forms the base of the popliteal fossa? So popliteal surface of the femur. Popliteal surface of the femur is nothing but the lower end. Okay, the lower end and the posterior surface of the femur. The lower end posterior surface of the femur is the popliteal surface of the femur. The next one is posterior ligament of the knee joint. Okay, so behind the knee is present the popliteal fossa. So the popliteal fossa is based from the knee joint. So what are the ligaments that are present behind the knee will form the floor of the popliteal fossa. The next is the popliteus muscle. So the muscle which is present inside the popliteal fossa is called as popliteus muscle. So that muscle is also forming the floor or base of the popliteal fossa. So far we have seen about the boundaries which are lateral, medial and the roof or floor or the base. Okay. So these are the boundaries which forms the popliteal fossa which is present behind the knee. The next one is the content of the popliteal fossa. fossa. You all came to know about the boundaries of